Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel Held Dominance. Anthony here. Please like and subscribe, and also click that notification bell if you're enjoying what you're watching and want to see more. In today's video, we have a quick look into the championship games that have happened over the weekend. We have a take a look about training day information from the teams in the NARL. And finally, the Physical Disability Rugby League season kicks off, and we have a look at the first game. But first we'll look into the Warrington Wolves Physical Disability Rugby League team, as they have been going since 2018 and have recently changed their coaching staff when it comes to team manager and head coach. Over the weekend it seemed to not unsettle them in any way, shape or form, because they beat the Wigan Warriors PDRL team 26 points to 18. We'll have more information about that, I'm sure, in the coming days about that fixture. But the reason why I bring it up is because of the changes. First of all, the head coach, Matty Barber. Now, Matty is a new face to the team, although certainly no newcomer to rugby, and he must have had a rugby ball in his hands from birth, as his dad and uncle both played. Warrington born and bred, he played for Crossfields all his life, and still says he hasn't completely hung his boots up yet. As a schoolboy, he gained a scholarship with Warrington and coached by Foundation Director Neil Kelly, progressing to the Junior and Senior Academies, also represented Lee Academy. Neil said this makes him feel old. Matty went to study sports development and fitness at Priestley College, and whilst they went on to win the National Cup as captain of their rugby academy. Subsequently, he was selected for the Home Nations Cup, and then a year later he played in the European Championships in France, where he was named player of the tournament. Over the years, playing for Crossfield has brought him the titles of Young Players and Player of the Year. And Player of the Year, he won the Division 2 of the National Conference League with them in 2016, and Man of Steel for Crossfields. Matty also signed for Oldham, playing one season in the reserve team and winning the grand final for the reserve grade. The other appointment is Dan Phillips as team manager. Dan is a familiar face to those who follow the PDRL team, indeed to the team itself, having played with them since the start of the squad in 2018, the formation of the team. He grew up in Warrington and played rugby league from an early age, although a horrific road traffic accident in 2014 meant his life took a different turn. The accident resulted in him being in his right leg being amputated in 2015. Dan is very definitely a man to whom adversity is no obstacle. He started training as soon as he was able to and competed in the Wounded Warrior Games in New York 2016, the British Para-Triathlon Championships in 2016, winning his class, and then competing in the Invictus Games in Toronto in 2017. He is part of the reigning World PDRL Championship squad, as in August 2018 he and his fellow Warrington Wolves PDRL team travelled to Sydney under the guidance of the fantastic former coach Will Maudsley, who had to step down due to work commitments, to compete in the inaugural World Club PDRL Championships. We remain proud holders of the championships after winning against South Sydney in Sydney in 2018, it says the website. We are also UK PDRL champions after scooping the title against Wakefield in September 2019. Dan said this about the appointment to being team manager. I'm honoured and excited to be able to help Warrington Wolves PDRL continue to grow and build on the foundations already laid. And following on from that, Neil Kelly, the Foundation Director, Warrington Wolves Charitable Foundation. This is an exciting year for physical disability rugby team, with the first Rugby League World Cup being staged in Warrington. The coaching team will bring fresh challenges to our world club champions, and both Matty and Dan are really looking forward to getting back on the field and starting the season. So yeah, I know a little bit about Dan because there's a couple of anecdotes through the Take His Legs documentary. The one that got me though was his wife hid his leg, his false leg, to stop him playing the game because he played one match and was injured, so much so he had a further 10 centimetres taken from the stump that was left on his right leg. When he was able to, he was back on the field, training and getting ready for the World Club Championships. There was no way he was going to miss that. You could see him, he was in pain, trying to get through it, and eventually got there. Please guys, go and, if you can, go and watch Take His Legs, Adam Hill's Take His Legs, the full documentary. It's a fantastic episode. The entire story around it is fantastic. Please, go watch. Now on to the Leeds Rhinos Foundation Physical Disability Rugby League game against Wakefield Trinity at Kirkstall, the Leeds Academy. They're still waiting for their first win of the season, as it will go a little bit longer, as the game ended in a stalemate of 6-all. In the competitive local derby, the teams couldn't be separated, and the match ultimately finished in a draw, the first since the introduction of the PDRL League. So they created a little bit of history there. They were the first people that were involved in a draw of a rugby league game. With a number of new faces taken to the field for Dan Roberts' side, it was debutant Peter Clark who grabbed the Rhinos' only try of the afternoon, which was converted by Owen Lockwood. It was a great response from the hosts, who had fallen 6-0 to Trinity just minutes earlier, when Callum Parkinson crashed over onto a lovely short ball from Darren Dean to score under the posts. Callum Parkinson also added the extras. It was the first half dominated by the host, who were unable to take advantage of their significant advantages in possession and also field position to pull away from the West Yorkshire rivals and to put the game to bed. When they twice managed to get over the line through Tom Kay and Tom Lockett, they were denied by the referee's whistle after a tag was called by a Red Shorts opponent just seconds before the ball could be grounded. So if you have a quick look on my previous video for the PDRL, you'll be able to find out a bit more about the rules and what that specifies, the Red Shorts. There was also some confusion when Chris Young was denied a great opportunity to score, with the referee choosing to bring back play for a completed tackle after the flying winger had intercepted Wakefield's offload and raced away down the field with nobody in sight. In the second half, chances were at the premium, and despite managing to camp themselves on the opposition's line in the dying moments of the game, they still couldn't find a way through the resilient Wakefield defence, who managed to hold on for a 6-6 draw. Despite perhaps feeling a point drop, it was a point dropped rather than a point gained. There were plenty of positives for the Rhinos coaching team to take from the opening game of the 2021 season, including a strong defensive performance led by halfback Lockwood and new signing Isaac Pickett, who really caught the eye on debut. There were also strong showings from forward trio Tommy Pouncey, hi Tommy, Nick Horner and Simon Brown, who dominated the game in the middle and set the Rhinos up with great field position throughout the game. Of course, after 18 months without a competitive game due to the coronavirus pandemic, the most important thing for both sides was being able to safely get back on the field and enjoy playing PDRL again. The draw leaves Leeds in second place in the PDRL table after an opening round of fixtures with Warrington's Wire team leading the way. After a bye in round 2, Rhinos will return to action on Sunday the 16th of May, where they make the short journey to face old foes Castleford Tigers PDRL at the Jungle. Following details of kick-off times will be available and announced due course. So yeah, Leeds are off the mark. There are 5 teams that haven't been named there: Warrington, Wigan, Castleford, Leeds, Wakefield. I'm hoping that more teams come involved in that, as it's a brilliant, inclusive form of rugby league, showing that we do not leave anyone behind. They are part of the rugby league family. They're rugby league fans, they're playing rugby league, and people within rugby league are giving up their time so that they can do this. Guys, get out there and follow your team. They are rugby league. If they're not the embodiment at the heart of rugby league, I don't know what is. Yes, it's been focused on Warrington because they've done that TV show, they've been around the world, but there are other teams out there. Don't forget there are many forms of rugby league. There's a wheelchair rugby league, which is a very competitive sport. There is also learning difficulties rugby league, which I know Salford are involved in. Back these foundations, grow the game. So going on from Leeds draw, a bit of information on the background of the Leeds Foundation. As Leeds Rhinos Foundation is pleased to announce the addition of Nick Barnaby and Kieran Hickman to the Physical Disability Rugby League coaching team. The experienced duo join the Rhinos from Castleford Tigers PDRL and will support the player coach Dan Roberts in his coaching duties as the team prepares to bounce back from the pandemic when they kick off their 2021 season against Wakefield Trinity PDRL, as we just covered. A lifelong Leeds rugby fan, Barnaby received huge plaudits for his tireless work in helping to build and develop the Castleford Tigers PDRL team into one of the sport's leading sides. Having learned his trade under the Foundation Community Club's development officer Sam Horner, Barnaby began coaching the community game with local club Segan Saints, whilst completing a degree in sports development and physical education at Leeds Trinity University. After graduating, he joined the Castleford Tigers Foundation, where he was given the opportunity to take his coaching to the next level, leading Pontefract New College to the Yorkshire League 2 title, before being appointed head coach at the University Leeds Seconds. Further success quickly followed, guiding the Griffins side to promotion and a National Cup semi-final. The 39-year-old was the driving force behind the introduction of PDRL to Castleford Tigers, and is largely regarded for one of the leading ambassadors in the rugby league's inclusive formats. On his move to Rhinos, Barnaby said, "It's a great honour for me to join the coaching team at the Leeds Rhinos Foundation PDRL, especially being a massive Rhinos fans. What these players do is amazing, and it's a pleasure to see them get out and playing the game they love in some of the best stadiums in the country." That's another thing. They play at the team's stadiums. Warrington, Wakefield, Castleford, they all play at the stadium. That is one gracious effort that all these club sides do. Yes, they're in the middle of a pandemic, and the academy was used in the first game for Leeds, but usually all the games are act as curtain raisers for the main games. So they're still getting fans. They're getting fans cheering them on. And people make a conscious effort to go there early. Yes, it means that the bars are open in the stadium a little bit longer. That's a good selling point though. The bars are open longer. Get in, spend your money on the club. It'll help the community side as well. You can sit out and watch rugby live, drinking, remember? That's how it's rugby league. Enjoy it. Barnaby's former assistant coach, Kieran Hitman, started playing at Castleford Panthers and went on to represent Dewsbury Rams, Featherstone Rovers and even Castleford Tigers as a trialist. He finished his career with local side Kippax Welfare, which is where he got his first taste of working in a coaching capacity. He supported Barnaby as assistant coach at Castleford Tigers PDRL since 2018. Hickman now joins back up with his good friend as he embarks on a new adventure with the Leeds Rhinos Foundation. Hickman said, "I'm delighted to be joining the coaching staff of the Leeds Rhinos PDRL. It's a leading club on all levels and the facilities to match. I'm sure we can push on and bring some silverware to the club, especially with the players in our ranks. With it being a World Cup year, hopefully a good few will gain selection for the national team, which makes it a very successful season for all concerned." So yeah, that's a little bit of insight on the Leeds PDRL team. First of all, we're looking to Swinton versus York, where York ran out comprehensive winners, 64 points to 14, with Matty Marsh scoring 4 tries in the demolition at Haywood Road, the home of Swinton, and also the former owner of Sale Sharks Rugby Union. Next, we look at Featherstone Rovers, 48 pounds to 14, where Featherstone had Brett Ferris, Connor Jones, Jack Bussey, Craig Kopchak, Famana Brown, Junior Moores, Josh Hardcastle, Gareth Gale and Craig Hall all crossing over, with Famanu Brown scoring 6 goals for the comprehensive win. In a defences on top game, with Halifax 34 to lose Olympique 44. Hat trick for James Daltonstall for the comeback attempting Halifax Panthers. That was at half time trailing to Toulouse, but it was a bit too much as Junior Veve scored twice and also Lloyd White scored twice as Toulouse eventually ground out their supremacy to win the game. Next we have the Newcastle Thunder versus Sheffield Eagles, where Newcastle prevailed with tries from Jack Johnson, Cole Oakley, Jake Chaplow and Akuma Tai, with 4 goals from Josh Woods to make the score 24 points to 16 over the high-flying Eagles. No pun intended there, they were high-flying at this point, but have finally succumbed to a defeat. It was 6-12 to Sheffield at half-time, so that sums up the second half and the effort that Newcastle put in that second half. So we go on to Bradford Bulls versus Dewsbury Rams for the final Sunday game before we go on to the Saturday's games, as it's included a guard of honour from both teams for Danny Brough, who had completed 500 career games in rugby league. And congratulations, Danny, for reaching that milestone. I know it'll mean more once you've decided that time has come for rugby league to, as a player, to come to an end, but it doesn't look like that's going to come anytime soon, because in this game Danny Brough was leader throughout, as Bradford won 35 points to 14, with Brough crossing for a try, scoring 5 goals and a drop kick. Dewsbury had 2 tries from Andy Gabriel, and the goal from Paul Sykes, but nothing too much for Bradford to worry about, as they were comprehensive winners after leading 28-6 at half time. So finally, we get on to the Saturday games. First of all, we have London Broncos versus Oldham. London were winning 18 points to 6 at half time, which eventually ended up at 38 points to 24 to the London Broncos. 3 tries from Toyo Agodo and 2 tries for Jared Samot led the way, while Chris Hankinson scored 5 goals to put the results out of doubt. Well, you thought so. But tries from players like Jack Bibby and Danny Langtree put the pressure on the London Broncos in this very, very highly defensive display from both sides. But London have started to get their stride. Hopefully they'll kick on and put pressure on the teams like Sheffield and Toulouse to get closer to the top. And finally, we look into the Batley Bulldogs as they took on Widnes Vikings on the Saturday, and this is our final game for the third round of this third round weekend. And despite winning the first half 16 points to 10, Batley Bulldogs scored 38 unanswered points in the second half, and for the game to finish 48-16. 2 tries from Johnny Campbell, while Josh Tonks, Michael Ward, Ben White, Dale Morton, Luke Hooley, Jody Broughton and Dan Manning crossed the line, while Dale Morton scored 6 goals to put the result beyond doubt. Widnes had Aribi Doro, Kenny Baker and Owen Buckley tries in the first half, with 2 tries from Steve Tyra, but eventually Widnes succumbed to defeat, a big defeat for this championship game. So now a little bit of a section to do with the NARL, as over the weekend it seems like players and clubs were coming together for some training days. So the first one was Boston 13s, who looked to have been taken to the grass for the first time since the club has been announced as being part of the NARL. So they're going to get ready for their trial days, their signings, their combines, but are going to do via the grass, where people have been mostly in the gym at this point. We've not heard too much in regards to players and signings. Maybe they're trying to keep a nucleus of the old squad from last season to grow their foundations, their identity of being Bostonian, but they may sign a few experienced heads that will take them to the next level. Next, we're looking to the New York team, as there has been a little bit of announcements through their social media, and they're all looking like they're having a ball, getting on the field and throwing the ball about. They're also teasing that a few announcements will come out over the next week, starting with Monday. So hopefully this something new they may be alluding to a different badge, as it's a different team in total. Maybe they're taking over the website, I don't know. But we're looking forward to what New York brings along, and so we can grow this fantastic game that we all enjoy. And finally, it looks like a get together and an on-field training session for the Washington side, the Washington DC Cavalry. As I brought into my last video, they have got a Combine Open Day that is happening on the 8th and 19th of May. So over 2 days, both starting at 9 AM. All my information about that is in the last video, but they seem to be getting a good number of players together to join in with the actual training Whether that means that they're all considerations for the squad. Most of them seem to have the same shirt on there, so they must be part of an old squad to which Ryan Burrows was involved in. So yes, hopefully that merchandise will make its way onto whoever is selling the merchandise, whether they're on website their own, or will sell their own, or whether it's the North American Rugby League. Looks like mostly sprint training and leg warm-ups for the session that was either Saturday or Sunday just gone. But they're looking strong, they're looking to get ready, and they're looking to get that team unity so that they can win, because that's the name of the game. So that's the end of my video today. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the content. Please remember, the race to 100 is still ongoing, so as soon as we get to 100 subscribers, you could be one of the winners of our Health Dominance merchandise, a new t-shirt that we send anywhere in the world to anyone who's a subscriber. So subscribe, like, share, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.